How's it going, my friends? It's iVolt and welcome to yet another discussion video. Now today it's it's another video about Limit Breaker, and it's literally the only thing that I've really been talking about on this channel for the past few weeks, I suppose, because it's literally one of the most fascinating things that I've basically been thinking about. Like, it's one of the things that has just fascinated me completely, because this form marks It marks, I guess, a transition in Goku's power, a complete transition into godhood. Okay, he goes from, he's had Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, he's attained God Ki, but this is beyond that, of course. As you can tell from the title, can Goku's body handle this form? Because as basically the name of it, or what we know of it as so far as Limit Breaker, obviously if he's pushing beyond his limits, that's, something that his body's gonna struggle to maintain. So I feel like this, I don't know if I'm gonna be confident enough to say that this is gonna be a one-off transformation, but I don't think that we're gonna see this transformation get pretty much used like Super Saiyan Blue was. I feel like Super Saiyan Blue was there as kind of a replacement for Super Saiyan in terms of this new realm of the gods. It's pretty much the Super Saiyan, but for, like, the gods, I guess, if that even makes any sense, because Super Saiyan does not have God Ki, but Super Saiyan Blue is literally Goku utilizing God Ki and, transforming into Super Saiyan pretty much. That's the easiest way I can really describe it. It's pretty much, Goku using that God Ki to transform, but that's not what we're talking about. So basically Goku's gonna end up transforming into this, and I feel like obviously Goku's gonna achieve this form through anger, because with Super Saiyan Blue, Goku did not just transform into that form out of anger or emotions or something. Goku trained to achieve that form after Super Saiyan God, because when he transformed to Super Saiyan God, that form ran out because Goku did not know or really understand. Well, his body didn't know what that power was. It was just the first time it achieved it. However, he did end up absorbing that God Ki into himself, and thus when he went Super Saiyan, his power didn't really drop that much. He was still able to land some hits on Beerus back in the the Beerus arc, or the Beerus saga, whatever you want to call it. So now we're getting a form where he's actually going to end up transcending past all these limits through anger alone, similar to how in the Frieza saga or Namek saga, when he went Super Saiyan against Frieza after, after Frieza eradicated Krillin. I don't know why I just laughed. That scene of Krillin screaming just popped into my head. Man, that's so weird. Why am I laughing at that? But honestly though, I like the fact that, like, Goku's gonna struggle with, handling this form, because something terrible is gonna happen prior to this. Goku might end up giving into his primal instincts, I suppose, because, I mean, I don't know, this power would be wild, right? It would be something that Goku would need to master, and he'd need to beat Jiren, and Jiren's obviously a Pride Trooper that's one of the strongest people in his universe, and of course, Jiren's a good guy, but he's going to be incredibly strong to beat, so Goku's going to have to, utilize this new power, figure out how to use it, similar to how, if you remember back when he was fighting against Beerus, he was just starting to figure out how that power works, so he needed to get used to how fast he would, go, how much power his punches had. He was actually able to start reading Beerus's movements, and, when Beerus went to chop him on the, use the hand chop on the back of his neck, he ended up catching it, when before as a Super Saiyan 3 he just got knocked out with a single chop to the back of his head. So that was cool. So I hope we can see some sort of, I guess, comparison between Super Saiyan Blue and Limit Breaker in terms of showing us just how much Goku has ended up jumping from Super Saiyan Blue, or probably even Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, into this new form, because I don't know if Goku's gonna end up mixing Kaioken with this form, because that seems like it's an incredibly dangerous thing to do, especially since when he first revealed Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken with, to us, it only had a 10% chance of working because he was trying to figure it out, but then he had to use it against Hit. So I feel like something similar could happen here. But I feel like Limit Breaker might take its toll on Goku's body and end up, you know, after the whole tournament's over, he might end up having the same key issues that he had when, you know, he ended up overdoing it with the Kaioken and Super Saiyan Blue. So, you know, he might not be able to, you know, utilize his ki properly, and when he uses instant transmission, he might end up at a different place or something of, you know, that nature. But of course, Goku is an incredibly resilient fighter. He does not back down. He will never back down, not even when he's had his like arms broken. Because if you remember back when he was fighting Zamasu, you know, threw that giant ki ball at him, and Goku ended up unleashing all of his power in the Kamehameha wave, and he pushed him back. You know, the ki actually was so strong that the Kamehameha actually ended up digging into his hands, so he couldn't use his hands anymore. So he started hitting, you know, Zamasu with his legs, and then Zamasu grabbed his ankle and he broke it, and then Goku went Kaioken and kicked him into the ground. That shows just how resilient Goku is. If you break his limbs, he will hit you with his head. He will, you know, he would not give up. That is Goku. So he's gonna have to handle this. Like, even if his body starts breaking, I don't think Goku's gonna let up, not until the last moments. And you know, this tournament might not seem like there's a lot at stake right now, or as intense as it is, because we've got a new episode coming up tomorrow. And the last episode, you know, I mean, it was pretty intense with Master Roshi, you know, sacrificing and putting his life on the line for Goku. And in a sense, Master Roshi broke his limits there. So that might be a way to show Goku, you know, somehow to access this form, or one way to break past his limits, because that's what Roshi did. He ended up putting all of his life force into that Kamehameha, and, you know, Goku somehow used the power of Super Saiyan Blue to heal him, which, it's, now that we think about that, he's actually been able to heal himself in his Super Saiyan God form, back when Beerus pierced him, and he healed it. So where did that go? Because that would have been useful in the Goku Black Arc, but let's not talk about that. But like I said, maybe, we don't know what this power could be. This, you know, new transformation might actually help him, you know, heal as he fights. We don't know how that's going to work, but it's going to be an incredible power boost to put Goku on equal terms of Jiren, maybe even above Jiren. We don't know. It might do something to Goku's psyche. It might make him more violent, you know, because as we know, Saiyans used to be very, very, how do we put it, violent, and Goku was too, until he, you know, smacked his head against a rock and became the guy that we know. Lovable, although selfish, because, you know, he loves fighting over everything, but it's Goku that we're talking about, and he will not let any harm come to his friends or family. So, Goku, I think that Goku's body is gonna have to handle this form. Even if it can't, Goku's just gonna keep using it because it's the only thing that he's got to fight Jiren. And then, you know, I think that the arc is not even gonna end when he fights Jiren. It's probably gonna lead into the next arc or something, which has been heavily theorized that it's gonna have to do with angels and, you know, the Grand Priest. Because I don't know, man, that smirk that he does, people are saying, oh yeah, he's just enjoying destruction. But if you remember, if you look from certain perspectives, when Beerus and Whis destroyed things, you know, we seen that, you know, if we look at from the people's perspective of being destroyed by Beerus, you know, we might just think that they're evil. So it's all about perspectives. But I don't know, man, Grand Priest looked pretty evil when he smirked like that. So you tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. First of all, do you think the Grand Priest is evil? Let me know. And second of all, do you think that Goku's body can handle this? And even if, you know, it can't, do you think he's going to have to regardless? Just let me know in the comment section below. My name is iVolt. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you're new, please do subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. Peace.